Ebbene sì, il Natale è finito, il 2015 è alle porte, c'è chi finirà questo anno di merda o chissà in che maniera, ed ecco puntuale, di conseguenza, il nuovo video di... Bentornati amici all'angolo dei videogames, io sono Andrea e oggi siamo su The Stanley Parable, un gioco che non ho mai provato fino ad ora, ma che mi ha incuriosito e volevo provarlo con voi proprio per lo speciale di Capodanno Natale. Avviamo il gioco. La cosa curiosa è che mi è rimasto il pallino del caricamento di Windows 7. No comment. E no comment anche per la mia voce perché mi è calata da bestia. Inizio a dire che ho avuto dei problemi molto gravi. Gravi un cazzo. In verità ho soltanto avuto un'influenza di merda e non ho potuto fare un cazzo di video. Non ho potuto fare un video in questi giorni. E allora mi voglio rifare con un gioco che non ho mai toccato in vita mia. Questa è la storia di un uomo di nome Stanley. Stanley
Stanley
lavorava per una
worked for a
compagnia
company
di
in a
questo
big
edificio
building
dove era
where
il
he was employee
427.
number
Lascio parlare lui che è
427.
meglio.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee
Che vita di
427
merda.
did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this
Che vita di
job.
merda.
And Stanley was happy.
Gli era felice. Oh,
And then one day, something very peculiar
peculiare, che
happened.
vuol dire?
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite
Ah.
forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting,
Sono
or
andati
even
tutti
say
via
hi.
prima di lui per fare le
Never in
vacanze di
all his
Natale, lo
years at the
sappiamo.
company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ah, ok. Oggi su nuovo. Non niente di anomalo, insomma. 829. Ok.
All of his co-workers were gone.
E
What could it
tutto
mean?
deserto.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oddio, è tutto deserto, ragazzi. Ma che cavolo sta succedendo qua? È strano. Andiamo in fondo.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Qui abbiamo il dilemma, abbiamo due porte. Lui ci dice di andare a sinistra. Però io ho la tentazione di andare a destra. Ragazzi, che cazzo faccio? Ci proviamo. Andiamo a destra.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
Chi
it.
è che farebbe una roba del genere? Dai.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ah. Non posso andare da un'altra parte. Praticamente vuole che entro qui, giusto? Ma se facessimo tutto il contrario di quello che dice? Vediamo un po' cosa salta.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
È veramente forte sto interprete. Questo... non interprete. Questo narratore. Che avessi chiuso la porta però. Ma... ragazzi... ma sono talmente basso. Figli. Tu l'ottavo è più alto di me. Non saltare dal caldo mentre è in movimento. Può causare morte. Penalità. In pratica ti danno una multa se cadi. Ma vaffanculo, dai.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
Cioè,
off
ci
on
sta
the wrong
parlando
foot
adesso il
here.
narratore.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you
No,
have
nessuna,
zero
mi
consideration for
dispiace.
others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad
Sì.
to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something
Cosa mi vuoi
beautiful.
mostrare?
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Ok, ti do una
Give me a
possibilità.
chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ancora. Ma io vado in quella blu, non hai capito un cavolo.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Ma
Stanley
che
walked
stronzo, mi
through
fai
the
cominciare.
red
No, vado in
door.
quella blu. Oh,
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the
ma
red
vaffanculo,
door.
vado in quella blu.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop
Oddio.
you. You see? There's
Cosa?
nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first
No.
place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a
Adesso
lot
ci
of time
sentirà
into
anche in
that?
colpa
Because I
adesso.
did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better?
non
What
so.
did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Senti, coso?
Tell you what.
Vai a
Let me
cagare.
take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some
Ok.
feedback.
Ehi,
There we go.
che cos'è sta
Third
roba?
option. This already feels leaps ahead
Ma
of
se
where we were
invece...
before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Vabbè, seguiamolo, vediamo un po' cosa cerca di fare.
Okay, I'm going to
Che
stop
cos'è?
you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Devo dare un voto a questa nuova versione. Voglio fare lo stronzo. Faccio uno.
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly
Ok, che
candid,
capolavoro hai
I think
creato,
I've
vediamo un
knocked it
po',
out of
questo
the
qui vuole
park with this
fregarci.
one. Let's take a look.
Wait, ma che diavolo? The Stanley Parallel Worldwide Leaderboard. Ok, vogliamo entrare qui? Entriamo. Si chiusa.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Lasciamo stare. Cosa vogliamo fare? Vabbè, dai, sono buono, gli do 2.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some
Vediamo.
playtesting.
No,
You wouldn't
no,
mind taking a
tranquillo,
look
non
at
mi
it, would you?
secca, stai tranquillo.
Perfect. Let me
Mi
boot
ha
it up.
risposto. Cosa sta caricando ora? Ma che cazzo?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move
Adesso
him back
raggiunge
to
il
the
fuoco
right, and if he
aperto.
reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play?
E ti aspetti che ci gioco per 4 ore?
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh mio Dio. Ragazzi, mi dispiace che il bambino vada in fiamme, ma porca miseria, io non posso continuare per 4 ore consecutive a fare questa cosa qui. Ok, non voglio vedere. Ma che cazzo?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
Cosa?
It's over.
Wait, ma è tutto buio qui.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here?
Cazzo canticchia.
Yes, this seems like it'll work.
Cosa
Let's
mi
give it
fa
a shot.
fare? Cosa mi fa fare? No, ma no, ok.
Well, Stanley,
Ragazzi.
is this any better? At last, the one thing you've
Perché
always preferred,
Minecraft?
a game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Ok, costruiscerai una casa come? Ah, la casa di fango. Ok.
This will go here. No, here. And then...
Che gentile, mi sta costruendo una casa.
Let's see, what does it need?
Sì, mi pare che manchi
Yes,
un
of course,
interno,
and just to
esatto.
finish it
E
all
manca
off,
anche una porta, bravo.
yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own
Ma questo qui ci vuole proprio
inadequacy.
prendere per
But
il
you've only seen
culo.
it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step
È una
inside and
trappola.
make yourself
È una
comfortable.
trappola. Non è...
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Caverne?
Diamond
No, le caverne di
everything.
diamanti.
Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Qualcuno. Ah, ma quindi... Ha chiuso la porta. Ok. È perfetto. Oh, ma che bel gioco. Figli.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit
Andiamo
dark.
sempre
You
più
brought a
giù. Troviamo i
light?
diamanti. Stanley.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant.
Minecraft.
This won't do at all. 1 out of 5.
Cazzo.
Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
C'erano i ragni. C'erano dei mostri. Non so cosa c'era. Tutto diverso. Vabbè. Vediamo che gioco nuovo vuole farci fare. No.
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done
Più
it any
vado
better
avanti,
myself.
più
What
mi
is this game
convinco
even
che questo
supposed to
qua,
be? I can't
questo
figure it
narratore
out.
è un sadico
Okay,
pazzo.
curious. Let's go find out
Madonna,
what the
ho
hell
rotto
this
quello.
is.
Dov'è la portal gun? Voglio la portal gun, questo è portal. Non c'è la portal gun.
Oh, it's a puzzle.
Dov'è la
Critical
portal gun?
thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Ok, quindi devo spingere questo. Però, figa. Devo spingerlo sul bottone, ma Non si fa spingere. Cacchio però. Ah, così.
Genius.
Ok. Andiamo al prossimo.
No, actually, you
Come
know what?
no?
I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any
No!
more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience.
Dite, sapete cosa faccio? L'ho fottuto! No, ma che cos'è sta roba? No. Dove sto cadendo? Dove sto cadendo? Che cos'è? No. Oddio, ho stravolto tutto il gioco. Non so più dove sto andando. No. Oh mio Dio. Questo gioco qui ti fa venire... ti fa andare in tilt il cervello. Beh, ma stiamo andando nella nostra stanza. Mi pare che questa sia la vecchia stanza di Stanley Parable. Parable. Sapete, non lo so come si pronuncia bene, però. Cosa è successo?
I wonder what he
Mi
found.
chiedo...
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to
Si
this
fa
world.
importante questo
Oh,
narratore.
yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Ah, non vedo neanche perché... Cazzo, ho provato una funzione strana di questo gioco. Si sta ricaricando, Bene, ricominciamo. Stavolta proviamo a seguire un po'.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Va bene. È cambiato l'inizio, questo mi preoccupa.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Proviamo a
he
entrare
entered
per
the
la
door on his
sinistra.
left.
Proviamo a fare come dice lui. Non è
Yet
che
there
mi
was
sto
not a single person
arrendendo
here
subito.
either. Feeling a wave
Però
of disbelief,
era per
Stanley
poter
decided
vedere.
to go up to his boss's office. Hoping
Andiamo
he might
all'ufficio
find
del
an answer
capo.
coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Proviamo a vedere nel suo ufficio.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Anche il capo
Shocked,
manca.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
La forza della coincidenza, Che cazzo è sto posto? Questo non si sa. Caricamento.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go
Perché è un
unanswered for
deficiente.
long.
Andiamo avanti, vediamo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Impianto controllo mentale. Andiamo a vedere qua. Proviamo a...
The lights rose on an enormous room
quanti
packed with
schermi,
television
via.
screens.
Voglio
What
io una
horrible
stanza del
secret did
genere.
this
Sai che
place hold?
figata
Stanley thought to
giocare.
himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Andiamo avanti.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature revealed.
Tutte le
Each bore the
stanze.
number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Sono le stanze di tutti gli impiegati.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be
Davvero
true.
orribile.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his
Sì, ma
emotions had been
immaginate se
manipulated to accept
se
him
davvero
blindly?
succede una roba del genere.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's
Mai.
control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Chissà.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Ok, vediamo che posto è
But here
questo.
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Adesso
For
lo
he would
spegneremo una
dismantle the
volta per
controls
tutte.
once and for all.
Però l'ultima stronzata la vogliamo fare. Accendiamolo.
Oh, Stanley,
Nice.
you didn't just activate the controls.
Sì.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of them for yourself.
Sì,
Is that what you
io
wanted?
contavo di tutto.
Control?
Io sì, c'era tutto.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand,
aspetta, che
there's
cosa sta
only so much
succedendo?
that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave.
Dovrei fare di
If you want to
meglio.
throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than
Ah.
that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just
Cazzo, sta
initiated the
esplodendo
network's
tutto
emergency
qui.
detonation system. In the
Porca
event that this machine is
puttana.
activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2
Oh,
minutes.
cazzo, 2
now this
minuti
is
alla
making things a little more fun,
detonazione.
isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's
Allora,
desire.
questo dice il
this is
pulsante
much
2.
better than what I had in mind.
Dov'è il
What a
pulsante
shame we
2?
have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what
Dov'è il
precious
pulsante
moments each
2?
one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to
E dov'è il
start.
pulsante viola?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing
come si
everyone
fa?
inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure
Quanto
whatever
manca?
I come up with on
Cazzo,
the
38
next go
secondi.
around will be even
38
better.
secondi.
My goodness, only 34
Ma
seconds left.
vaffanculo.
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Ride pure.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You want to control this world, that's
Cazzo,
fine.
ok.
But I'm going to
Sono
destroy it
spacciato.
first, so
Goodbye
you
employment 827.
take a look at the clock, Stanley.
Ma
That's 30
sta,
seconds you
non
have
farmi
left to
sperare.
strike. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you
Aiuto.
being blown to pieces.
Ragazzi, 18,
Will you
19,
cling desperately
16.
to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or
Va bene, lo
it's all the
spengo.
same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at
Spengo
every
il
second of
macchinario.
your inevitable
3,
life from the
2,
moment we
non ce la
fade
farò
in until
mai.
the moment I say happily ever after.
Merda! Cazzo, mi è esploso tutto. Mi hanno ammazzato terribilmente. Oh madonna, oh madonna. Cosa succederà ora? Abbiamo voluto fare i furbi. Va bene ragazzi. Lo speciale è finito. Noi ci rivediamo al prossimo video. E al prossimo anno. Buon Natale, che è già passato. E buon anno a tutti. Un grande abbraccio. Ciao!